So it is a joy today to be led by the people who join us from a distance. The best thing about this technology is that often people who join, there's all kinds of people who join online. Some live local, and it's a more accessible way on particular days or every time. But also, so many people online found us through the connection of someone they love who attends in person. So there's all these really deep connection stories of how they made their way to this church. And usually it's because they really love somebody who came in person and said, hey, try this church. This is a special place. So I just love that so much. And, Zoom is what allows me and Kip to experience our parents on Zoom, which is really special and exciting. My parents are a combination of my mom who joins and then Dave Bradman, who is one of my father figures. So it's really special and it means so much to me. So this morning, we're going to hear from people online, and I'm going to remind them to, at the beginning, introduce themselves and share where they are joining from, just to remind us. But we're so glad to see these faces every week and to have a way to, again, be one body together. So we're going to start off with our scripture reading. And Jermaine Veronica is going to read those for us. They're printed in your bulletin, and Jermaine will orient us to those scriptures.
Okay, good morning. Delight yourself.
I'm sorry, Jermaine. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we could hear you at first and then you cut out, so I'm going to ask you to start one more time.
Okay.
Thank you.
And God looked upon all that he had made, and indeed, it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. I know that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and to do good in one's lifetime. Moreover, that every man who eats and drinks sees good in all his labor. It is the gift of God.
Thank you so much. Can you remind us where you're joining us from, Jermaine?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm Jermaine, and I'm from Florida.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing those scriptures with us this morning. Next, I want to introduce someone that we all know and love, Becky Jamros. Sometimes we are actually gifted with her in-person presence because sometimes she'll just make a trek to come see us, and it's just so delightful to have her here, whether it's online or in person. And I keep threatening that we are going to make a field trip to come see you, so I need to organize that because I would love to do that. Becky, we're so glad you're here. Becky joined the church officially in 2022, and we're so delighted to hear from you and that you are part of us.
Oh, thank you, Priscilla. I do hear my echo. Can we press the magic button? Got it? Thanks. Well, as I think Priscilla said, I'm in Southwest Michigan with my husband, John, and our ever-changing menagerie of dogs. And we love to have visitors. So if you'd ever like to experience the shores of Lake Michigan and all the beauty that we have to offer, it's a standing invitation. I'm drawn outside every morning to my little pollinator garden and my fellow beings who share this oasis with me. The garden has really taken hold in the 3 years since I started it. Bumblebees fill the hyssop and Joe Pye weed plants. These busy pollinators are not skittish, allowing me to observe their activity up close. And I've read that bees can recognize and remember humans. And much to my pleasure, things have grown tall enough finally to attract a few monarch butterflies. I tried to capture one in my screenshot there behind me. I was beginning to feel worried because I haven't seen any yet this year. I take so much delight in sharing the garden with these tiny creatures and the chipmunks and the hummingbirds that are regular guests as well. I love watching many different birds splash in the bird bath and feast on the seeds and nuts that John puts out for them every morning. My life is filled with delights of every kind. But in the fullness of late summer and in the approaching change of the seasons, I'd like to share with you some of the delight that I find especially in experiencing and nurturing the human creation, the non-human creations that surround us at our home here in Southwest Michigan. Looking back, I can see how much the delight of being in God's creation has been a steady blessing in my life. I can still remember the sights, sounds, touches, and smells of my childhood. The whisper of the wind through the tall white pines that formed a windbreak beside our old white farmhouse. The smell of their damp needles after a rain. The springy floor made from years of accumulated pine needles under these giants. The rustling, late summer yellowed leaves on beech trees lining the shore of Silver Lake across the road. Cool, wet sand under my bare feet. The smell of crisp, drying grasses as we crunched through the field behind our backyard on after-dinner walks. Tunneling through mounds of piled snow, creating igloos and forts, and eating that freshly fallen snow. Sledding down the big hill. Glistening drops of melting ice during early spring afternoons. Catching fireflies and picking blueberries in June. Picking tart cherries in July and warm fuzzy peaches in August. Long bike rides along a road lined with Queen Anne's lace, campion, and chicory. The woods and the lakes, the beaches, and the meadows of my childhood were my home. Like a painted turtle, I have carried that home with me in all of these places and through all of the times and circumstances of my life. In my crone years, I realized that these experiences have been encounters with amazing grace. God's blessings have held me up, soothed me, inspired, and motivated me. The Ecclesiastes reading for today tells us that there's nothing better for people than to be happy and do good while we live. We are encouraged to find satisfaction in all of our toil. This is a gift of God, and our senses are a gift from God that allow us to experience the delights of God's creation. In the harvest season of my life, I'm very happy and very grateful. Many experiences of nature have taught me about God's presence in everything. How else could we fully appreciate all of the living and non-living elements of our world? A connection with all of creation, a oneness with human and non-human beings. And in this knowing and in this appreciation grows a fierce love that urges us to work and fight and plead for the protection and nurture of our home and all the things in it. I love the hymn, A Song of Peace, a patriotic song. Most of us would recognize this hymn as This Is My Song. It's a poem written by Lloyd Stone and Georgia Harkness in 1934. It was set to the melody of Finlandia, which was written in 1899 by John Sibelius. Finlandia was a protest against the increasing censorship by the Russian Empire, which was taking place in the 19th century. This Is My Song was written between World War I and World War II at a time of both hope and potential conflict. It spoke to both nationalism and universality. It is a prayer for peace extending to all nations. The words of this song are for me a vivid reminder of the delight that we are all meant to experience in God's creation. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on clover leaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too, and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, thou God of all the nations, a song of peace for their land and for mine. So many of our brothers and sisters do not have the privilege of experiencing many of the blessings that I have taken for granted. Gaia, Mother Earth, is suffering greatly. Her children suffer. Evil, greed, and a concentration of wealth and power are ugly realities that we live in. Every Sunday, we are bolstered here with messages of hope as we gather in person and virtually. We're fortified and we're lifted up to live in ways that stand up to evil power. We're encouraged, as Micah tells us in chapter 6, verse 8, to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. I'm an imperfect creature who has been blessed with an infinite number of opportunities to learn, grow, unlearn, and try again. Countless companions along my journey have shared their wisdom and their challenges with me. I'm just one woman, a woman who has learned to rejoice in all things and who wants to share my delight in the astounding gifts that are meant for all of us to claim as children of God. Genesis 1, verse 31 tells us, God saw all that they had made, and it was very good. Very good indeed. As we pray and work for a just and loving world, we can remember that beauty, joy, and delight are as vital as sunlight for all living things. In closing, I'd like to share a poem which Kara Messner gifted to me. The poem is called The Word by Tony Hoagland. His words invite us to remember to pencil in find delight in our very long to-do lists. Down near the bottom of the crossed out list of things you have to do today, between green thread and broccoli, you find that you have penciled sunlight. Resting on the page, the word is as beautiful. It touches you as if you had a friend and sunlight were a present he had sent you from some place distant as this morning to cheer you up and to remind you that among your duties, pleasure is a thing that also needs accomplishing. Do you remember that time and light are kinds of love? And love is no less practical than a coffee grinder or a safe spare tire. Tomorrow you may be utterly without a clue, but today you get a telegram from the heart in exile proclaiming that the kingdom still exists, the king and queen alive, still speaking to their children. to anyone among them who can find the time to sit out in the sun and listen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Becky. You are such a delight to do this for us, and you have so many gifts, and we're so glad you shared them today. When we were planning this, there was the team of us, and we knew we wanted it to be interactive and participatory. So in that light, continuing this theme, Christine Cobb is going to lead us in an activity that you'll be able to do whether you're in person or online.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christine Cobb, and I'm speaking to you from Newcastle, PA, which is about an hour north of Pittsburgh. So it's a beautiful day here, sunny. Hope it's good there too. We were talking about sunshine. A couple of things. I'm going to lead you in an activity, but as I was looking or thinking about what maybe I'd like to do, I thought I have one quote I wanted to share with you. And I also was thinking about the fact that delight contains the word light. And of course, we refer to God as love and light. So I think that's just something beautiful. And Matt Chandler says, the quote is, "Where your delight is, the rest of your world is going to follow." I can say that's very true of my life, and I hope it's true of your life. So the activity today, the interactive activity today, is a means of getting to know each other better, both in the congregation and online, is that you're going to share with someone, either in the chat or in person, what you delight in using the letters in delight. So DELIGHT. What things with those letters delight you. And if you have a hard time thinking of something, you can do something else, or if there's something that delights you that is not in that, certainly share that with your friends too. So we were thinking about 10 minutes, and then Priscilla is going to kind of wrap it up for this portion. So that's the activity.
Thank you so much, Christine. Feel free to take a few minutes if you want to work. If it's helpful for you to do it independently and then share it, feel free to do that, or you can just do it verbally with someone if you prefer. Bring you back. It seems like people really enjoyed both having time to think about what delights us and also sharing with someone else. So I would love to invite Christine to share some of what delights her, and then we'll see if there are others who want to share.
So my initials are D. Dance moves me literally and figuratively. E. Education is near and dear to my heart. L. Laughter and learning tickle my innards. I. Intellectual conversations enrich me and are a must. G. Gadgets and girlfriends are treasures. H. The heavens are thrilling. T. Theatrical events and traveling are my go-tos in life. And as an aside, I was a dance professor, dance educator for over 30 years in higher education. So dance and education, learning, of course, just has so happened that they all work beautifully with delight. And also, my best girlfriend in the world is Karen Clemente. And she was the one who got me involved and allowed me to be, a part of this church. So it's a real blessing.
That is awesome. We're so glad to know a little more about you, and that explains why Karen was beaming so much when you were speaking. I mean, she beams for many of us, but she was beaming extra for you. So we're so glad to learn those things about you, Christine, and thank you for leading us in this exercise. Does someone else want to share something that delights them? You don't have to do every letter if you don't want to, but let me first stay with our Zoom people. Is there someone who'd like to share something that they came up with that delights them? Yeah, I see Marianne coming off of mute.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. I didn't do it in order, but I think the things that delight me have some of those letters in them. So we'll go with that. I guess when I was thinking it was a good exercise to bring it to the forefront. I guess my delight in water in general, in all its forms, the ocean, of course, and pools and lakes and brooks. I like the sound. I like the smell. I especially love the immersion. So if I can swim in it, all the better. But just if I can't do that, just the sheer delight in hearing it and seeing it in all its forms. And I guess along with that, then I also have to say flowers because I grew up surrounded by them. That was a big thing in my family. We always planted and arranged and invited people to come over and cut our flowers and then stay for a cup of coffee. So flowers are also, apart from being beautiful, just a great social thing too, growing up, and they still are. And then I love trees, just not only for their beauty, but they're just so stable. For their stability, their strength, and their sheer beauty. So I like this exercise because it really gave me pause and time to think of what's important to me and to appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. Is there one more person who'd like to share something that delights them? Yeah, we have two people in the sanctuary that will share.
I like to watch lightning, and that kind of goes with travel because my favorite place to watch lightning is when I visit my grandparents in Florida because they have lightning storms like every day.
Oh,
So I like to watch the lightning in Florida.
I love that. I think some people, next time there's a lightning storm, they will think of you and they will try to experience delight.
I'll also add dreams. I thought that was a good one, but lightning was one we all really liked.
Nice. I love it. Thank you. And then we had one over here. Were you going to share?
I'm going to say this for my mom, D for drumming.
Yes! Woohoo! Any last ones online that I missed? Just want to make sure. I think Becky has her hand up, maybe?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. John and I did it together, and we took the assignment very literally. We just went down the spelling of delight. We started with dogs. Since you've known us, I think we've had a various menagerie here, and dogs are a big part of our lives. Healthy energy is another thing that consumes a lot of our thinking and our energy and our lifestyle. Lake Michigan, of course, very dear to our hearts. Ice cream, I have to say, we live around the corner from the best ice cream place I've ever encountered. Grandparenting is big for us. We're very blessed to have grandchildren. Our home gives us much delight. We love sharing. We love having people over. We love just being at home. And also, as much as we love being at home, we love travel.
Thank you so much, Becky. It's so cool. This is such a good activity to get to know people. Did you have one you wanted to share?
Just one quick. I thought, as soon as I saw the T, I thought Tony. And he's not here, so I can say he drives me nuts, but he brings me such delight.
Oh,
Nobody makes me laugh like that guy.
so sweet. We love that. We love that. Well, this is the good news of God.